There's 155 steps from the bottom to the top.
In Miami, the Keystone Steps are a reminder of the path the miners took to work. The stairs and these historically registered arched bridges help tie the community with its mining past.
They were built in 1918, 1 year after we were incorporated as a town. The name of the 5 bridges are Miami Avenue, Keystone, Cordova, Inspiration, and Reppy. And they were built by a gentleman by the name of Daniel Luton. And they're quite unique because they're all in a row, and you don't see too many bridges that are all straight. They're almost like the canals in Amsterdam.
Vice Mayor Sammy Gonzalez wants you to know, if you just buzz on by, you're missing a gold mine.
Take time, turn off on 60 onto Sullivan Street and see what our beautiful town has to offer.
And that's exactly what we're about to do. Here on Sullivan Street in downtown Miami, every building tells a story. And boy, can these walls talk.
Miami in 1910, we have what the town hall used to look like. We have this building when it was Cabito's Jewelry.
Pictures that bring back memories of this small town.
We have the 1951 basketball champions. We have stuff from Pauline's restaurant, which was up there by the high school, and so a lot of the older people, like class of 65, and they remember Pauline's, you know, so I have her ice cream scoop on the wall and just different things that people had brought us.
Lisa Zaragoza isn't just a small business owner. She is a proud small-town girl. And Sweet Memories is her treat shop.
We get a lot of people that come in and then they start looking at the pictures and it's like, oh, I remember that.
While guests drink in the nostalgia, Lisa pours fresh coffee and grills up a few paninis.
You pick your bread, you pick your meat, you pick your cheese, and you pick your dressing.
Lisa says the basil pesto and tomato basil pesto are customers' favorites. She also has lots of homemade sweets and 2 flavors of soft serve ice cream.
We always carry vanilla, but we change the other flavor every weekend. We're just always switching the flavors, and my granddaughter, she puts out every month, she puts out the flavors on Facebook because we get a lot of people that call us, so what's the flavor today?
Another hit is their fresh squeezed lemonade.
We wait for the lemonade season, we go pick lemons for my niece, and we juice lemons forever, and then that's what we use for our lemonade.
If it sounds like Sweet Memories is a family affair, it is. We first introduced you to Lisa and her daughter Denise when we featured their other business, My Mom's House Designs, over on Gibson Street.
I was gonna move the other shop, my mom's house. I was gonna move it to this shop. Well, that's the reason I wanted the building.
But Lisa's daughters convinced her they should start something new, a side business that's only open Friday through Sunday.
We just kind of talked, all of us together, and I said, well, let's open an ice cream shop.
Daughter Deanna makes the panini sauces and does all the baking. Daughter Denise makes the popcorn, and her son-in-law whips up the cotton candy.
It makes us very proud because like Friday mornings or Saturday mornings, you know, we might have the town manager come in or some business owners, they come in and have breakfast. That's what we wanted, is we wanted everybody to be able to come in here and just, you know, everybody talk to each other.
Whether you're coming in for a cup of coffee, a panini, or soft serve ice cream, Lisa hopes you will take home a few sweet memories of your own.
Old stuff goes with old buildings, so it's the perfect setting for me.
Miami may be part of the Copper Corridor, but it also has a certain reputation with the past.
Miami has always been a destination for antiques, so I wanted to be part of that.
So Dave Huber left the Valley, bought this building on Sullivan Street, and opened Miami Rose Trading Company.
I've always loved old things and just the quality of old things. So, and my grandparents collected for years, so it was a natural progression for me.
Miami's storefronts whisper stories from a century ago, and nothing speaks louder than the town's relationship with copper.
Copper mining is huge here, so we sell a lot of copper items, from pots and pans to, when we can get them, miners' utensils or carbide lamps, for example, that the miners used. Those are very collectible, so those sell pretty fast.
There is even a feature inside the building that David says is a true reflection of Miami's mining boom.
One of my favorite things about this building, and one of the reasons I bought this building, is because it has a bank vault built in, an original bank vault. There were several banks in town back in the day when it was in the heyday of this town. So to me, that really tells the story of Miami, having that bank vault here.
Like mining, trends in antiques and collectibles experience booms and busts.
It's hard to keep up with. It's an ever-changing cycle. So as soon as I try to predict it or figure it out, then it's changed by that time. So I kind of stopped trying to predict and figure it out, honestly. If I stock a variety of items, then I hopefully have something that everyone will find, even if it's a little something. So I like to stock a variety of items in different price ranges too. So if someone's looking for a $10 or $12 item, I've got that. And I don't do anything really high end here, but it's a good variety. I do a lot of primitives and artwork here, for example. I do religious items, which is sort of a niche here. Asian items have been a big seller for us as well lately.
David says he often feels like a kid in his own candy store.
I love when I make someone else smile, when somebody finds something that they want. That's what keeps me charged up and going every day. Just knowing that somebody else is going to give this item a new home and a new lease on life, that just makes me happy.
He's been able to connect customers with their own history.
We've had, and I think we still have one or two, high school yearbooks from Globan Miami from the 1940s, 1950s. We've had even older ones, but people will come in and look through those, and they'll find a relative in there or a friend, and that will get them to buy it usually. Or they'll tell their friend about it. Oh, you got to go buy that yearbook. So that makes me happy when we can kind of pass something along that's going to have meaning to someone, really personal meaning.
Giving the present the gift of the past.
I've always been an advocate for historic preservation, so this building is approximately 1915 as much as anyone knows, so just keeping it alive and keeping it as original as I can to when I found it, and bringing it back as much as possible with the funds that I have, trying to bring it to life along with the old things. So we get a lot of compliments that, wow, you have a real antique store. It's a real old building and you've got real old stuff here.
Miami's living live and well. Might not look like it whenever you're driving through the 60, but if you hit Sullivan Street, it's happening.
Miami is no ghost town. Just check out Happy Hour on a Friday night in downtown. These folks are hanging out at Miami Flats, one of the newer weekend night spots to pop up on the Sullivan Street scene.
I think the vision of it was just to have people in the community come together. If you wanted everything from a cold drink to come and dance, listen to some music, just a nice place to hang out.
It definitely has a unique feel to it here, and we wanted to kind of keep that going with the old school, but we wanted to bring something new here.
Gary Wilson and Claudio Rodriguez are brothers-in-law, both part of the family business.
My mom's a nurse, my dad's construction. We had no intentions of opening a bar ever, but we just ended up in a spot that, man, this place looks like we should have some beer here. So that's where we cracked one open and let's get a liquor license. Let's do it.
They started out simple, drinking, music, dancing. Then they decided to add pizza. Then axe throwing.
I spent some time in the valley, went to a few different venues that had it, and it was just a blast. So, and then there's nothing like that here in Miami to do, so I wanted to try to incorporate that.
Turns out the idea was right on target.
Everyone that we've come across loves this place. So the biggest takeaway is it was very well needed for the area.
Miami Flats lives in a 1915 building, another historic property on Sullivan Street that's been given new life.
Back in the day, this actually used to be a dealership. So this used to be a Pontiac dealership, and where the bar is now used to be like the administration part of the dealership. So, and where the axe throwing is used to be where the showroom was.
With its 21st century makeover, this building is once again giving folks in Miami a little something to rev up their evening.
I think it's pretty dynamic. There's a spot for the old folks, and there's a spot for young guys that want to come throw an axe and do some line dancing.
It's an antique thrift store called Two Board Ladies. It's located in the old YMCA in downtown Miami. Most people refer to it as Bunny's Bazaar.
Bunny Kessler has a passion for old things and says her mission in life is to make them usable.
I live in an old community that has a lot of old things, and destroying old things to make new things makes no sense. We should be able to invest in the infrastructure and the things that are already here and make them usable for us. We shouldn't just throw things away.
So it makes sense that Bunny set up shop inside the town's old YMCA, breathing new life into the original 1917 building while continuing its mission of service.
I wanted to make it where it was easy enough to where the community could find what they needed. And whether it's old or new old, just used. I just wanted to be helpful in my area.
Bunny tells us she sells everything. And by everything, she means everything.
My neighbors down the street, they didn't have forks. They come here first. Our local police officers are constantly in, like, I need a Tupperware. Like, I have that.
What about an old school phone? Check. A bunny lamp? Check. Christmas decorations? Check, check, and check. Or how about a knight in shining armor? Check. On the shining armor part.
A lot of people come to look at the vintage and newer clothes upstairs and see the gym and just generally tour the building, because 3/4 of the building is accessible now. So they get to come in and see like a little bit of history of like what Miami had available to us.
The old building has a lot of space. Bunny saw it as the perfect spot for Miami's crafting community to hang their own hats.
One of the things we need here is somewhere for local businesses, small or large, to be able to have a place. I was trying to make it to where they could have a permanent location that we could actually showcase all the different artists and like creators in our area.
There's so many one-of-a-kind things in here.
One creator here is Mary Hysong. She makes customized soap, shampoo, lotions, and scrubs using goat milk straight from her urban farm.
My base for all of my soap scents is a lard base with some coconut and olive oil added in there. And then the goat milk itself, goats convert pretty much all of the beta carotene that they eat in green feed into actual vitamin A. And so your skin can absorb some of that. So it's just really, really good, and it's very mild, it's very gentle, it's real easy on your skin. You don't feel like a prune when you get out of the shower when you use the goat milk soap.
For Bunny, it is all about providing a space for the community that in turn provides for the community.
When we do things as a collective, it tends to be really good for you and your environment. It makes it funner and more community oriented.
This is my mom's house. And when we were thinking of a name, everybody was saying it should have been the Bubblegum House, but we've always just said it's my mom's house. So.
You can't miss the big pink house on Gibson Street, a couple of blocks off downtown Sullivan Street. This longtime family home is filled with cherished memories and hometown pride.
We're at my mom's house designs in Miami, Arizona.
Owners Lisa and Denise Zaragoza are the mom and daughter crafting duo behind many of the designs sold here. And that's Designs with a D to Z, a playful spin on daughter Denise's name.
I do most of the shirts, so I do screen printing. I make hats. I also make candles. My mother, she makes the bath items, so she'll make the bath salts or the bath bombs.
What started out as a mom and daughter operation has now extended to the whole family.
One of my oldest sisters, she does all the baking, so she makes us our seasonal cookies, which are always so very cute. My little boy does tie-dye socks, and he makes tie-dye crayons, and I have a nephew that makes lip gloss for us. Even my dad, he's the handyman around here, so he has to come and fix things for us or build things, so everybody is pretty much involved in our family.
And it's not just a family thing, it's a Miami thing. 95% of the items sold here are Miami made.
My parents bought the house in 1957.
Lisa's dad later added on some more, expanding the house for the family's 9 kids, plus 3 more they adopted.
My grandma's door was always open, so whoever wanted to come, you can always find her in the back, either making tortillas or she always had Mexican music playing. You can hear her singing. When we decided to do this here at the shop, it was a big deal because this space alone was her upholstery business. So it was kind of like her own little business, and now here's our little business inside of it.
Generations of proud Miami makers who all agree Mom's house will always be home sweet home.
You know, I always think about a building on the main street, but I know that this is where we're supposed to be.
Back on Sullivan Street, it's a meeting of the minds. A clever name for one of the newer establishments here in Miami, a meadery.
I'm a little bit of an antiquarian, and I've always been in love with the turn of the century. So, it's just like a layup. Because you look at the ceiling, and it's a building that's been standing for over 100 years on a street that used to be, a boom town. Cowboys, shootouts, the whole nine, it's had a pretty interesting history.
It's kind of kismet that Dave Lindblad would open a craft bar in a century-old building where he can make and serve the world's oldest fermented beverage.
You dream about going and having a place in a cowboy Old West situation, and yeah, it nailed it.
You'll also see a lot of eclectic and unusual items.
It's chaotic and random, and it's always been that way. I did this was in my home studio. When we came here, it all just sort of floated here. And now I'm kind of the guy that people bring weird stuff to. So I've got some science specimens of bats in plastic. People bring me clowns. I've got some Aztec death whistles from people, and it's like, they go, hey, I bet you would like this, and it ends up in here.
Meeting of the Minds is a place to hang out, play games, read, play music, and it's bringing life to Sullivan Street after 5 p.m.
A lot of people here love the nightlife. They want to have a place to come and spend some time because, we're an hour from the valley. What are you gonna do? So here we are, and that's why I want to have this atmosphere. It's I don't want anybody to be afraid to walk in here. I don't want anybody to be afraid to ask if they can do something in here.
Sometimes called honey wine, Mead is made from the fermentation of honey, water, and yeast.
The beauty of mead is its versatility. It's a palette in which you can throw any color. There's nothing off limits, from spices to coffee to fruits to peppers. Like, one of my favorite ingredients is peppers. But yeah, anything goes. This guy right now is a traditional that is going to be turned into our raspberry.
And Dave's palate is filled with Arizona influences.
Mesquite honey I use all the time. In my cherry bomb, it's a main ingredient because that's such an Arizona and Southwest flavor. But like the prickly pears, I just want to lean into this region because that's what's great about mead. It's tailor-made to where it comes from. I want you to taste Globe. I want you to taste Miami. I want you to taste Superior.
A taste of the Copper Corridor in every glass. The food served here at YSL Ray isn't just Mexican cuisine. It's Miami culture.
It's the reason why Miami's on the map.
For more than 80 years, YSL Ray has been Miami's Mexican food restaurant.
My great aunt, Josephine Picasso, opened this in 1938.
Still in the same spot on Sullivan Street, it's the place to eat, to gather, and to celebrate.
Oh, we've had a lot of life moments here at YSL Ray. People come here to celebrate birthdays, anniversaries, baptisms.
My niece got engaged here last week. So this is just all of our family photos have YSL Ray in it.
We try and create a home-like environment, and that's what people tell us, that it feels like coming home here, because we usually have soft Mexican music playing in the background, which people love. Some of them don't understand a thing that they're saying, but they like the ambiance of it. I just had a customer the other day tell me that it was her first time in here, and I happened to be walking past and she called me over and she says, "I love the vibe in here."
Greg and Doreen have also stayed true to his great aunt's original recipes.
You know, tweak a little bit, didn't add too much. You know, it was a great recipe. It's always been through the generations.
My favorite is the red chili burro enchilada style. It never fails. I always get it.
Green chili chicken enchiladas are a big favorite.
While YSL Ray carries on their old traditions, longtime customers continue making new memories.
Well, I was born and raised here. This has been a family tradition. Like, we come, when I was a little girl, my parents used to bring us to church, and then after church, we'd always come eat here. I've carried the tradition on with my family.
Everybody, when they come back home, they want Mexican food. They don't want steak dinners. They want burros and tacos and enchiladas from Wyo's.